All right, Washington's a tomato can. And we know what the Cowboys do, coach, to tomato cans. So that's a good sign.
Great sign.
The other problem, though, is that they're bad signs as well. It's on the road. And Dallas is darn near a tomato can on the road.
Tomato can
Hasn't been good.
Right, they're tomato can adjacent, 3-5, all right? And Nick has spoken this week, coach, like the Cowboys are just rolling.
Thank you.
They've lost 2 of their last 3 games. The one win was questionable. All right,
I think
it
that's
was
unfair.
it was controversial. All right,
Controversial.
There was a
It could have
terrible
easily gone the other way.
call
Yes.
that affected both teams. The tripping call happened first and was egregious, right? And that would have ended the game. And then there was the 2-point conversion
Just
mishap.
saying
I'm just saying it wasn't a great
Go
win,
ahead.
and I thought they got outplayed. But for the great 92-yard play, which was great play by Dak and CD.
Bad tackling.
And the great drive in the fourth quarter. But all that said, they also haven't scored more than 20 points in 3 weeks.
Hello.
All right, this is a team that its offense is supposed to be great because the defense can be run on. So. And F game's on the board. I'm not predicting the upset. I don't know if anybody up here is. I'm not predicting the upset, but an F game is definitely on the board, Coach.
Correct.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. It absolutely shouldn't be on the board, but it's on the board. And if it's an F game, it's going to stand for you find a new job because it'll probably get McCarthy fired.
Wow. Because
then they're going to have to go on the road, and it's going to be if you lose this game, and that's part of the problem is the Commanders have nothing to lose. They're playing loose. They're playing for their head coach is probably not going to be there. They can just do whatever they want to do. Where Dallas is going to be pressured up the whole game.
Can I push
go
back
ahead.
just a hair? Because I know we've been talking about they have nothing to lose, and I forgot. I'm like, oh shoot, they currently have the number 2 pick, which is like quarterback time. Or if they win and the Patriots lose, they'd flop. All of a sudden, they're out of the quarterback.
There's not a player or coach who cares about that because none of them, outside of the guys who have long-term big contracts, nobody knows if they're going to be there when the administration
and
changes.
And the coach is good, right? Because the coach is going to get blown out.
So
but all right, so here's the problem, guys. And I got irritated yesterday, and I apologize. I raised my voice at Coach, which I don't like to do.
I didn't even notice it.
I raised my voice at Wilds, which I should do more often. But the reason I was frustrated was because if we are talking about this being, got to be careful, then what you're saying is every game. It's just every game. Because if the Cowboys, and we did this off the air, it was like, hey, guys, we win, we lock up the 2 seed. It has to be on the road because that's how the schedule is. Your number 1 pick of who you want to play, they'd probably pick Carolina. And their number 2 pick would be this team.
Yeah.
And so we have a team we all agree is somewhere between good to very good in the NFL, and a team that is either the worst, second worst, or third worst team in the NFL. And then Coach brought up ghosts of Christmas past, that the Patriots, Dolphins in 2019. So
that's a long time.
No,
2019 might as well be
so it's
the 1800s. It never happened.
It's not. But so here's the thing about that. So I then looked it up. I was like, okay, since then, what have been these exact scenarios? A team can get the 1 or the 2 seed, is playing all the end-of-year games or divisional opponents, and how's it gone? In 2019, New Orleans playing Carolina, who was terrible, for the 2 seed. New Orleans won by 32. In 2020, Green Bay, Chicago for the 1 seed. Green Bay won by 19. In 2021, Tampa, Carolina for the 2 seed. Tampa won by 24. Last year, San Francisco, Arizona. The Niners won by 25. Minnesota, Chicago, which was potential 2 seed. Minnesota won by 16. Kansas City, Las Vegas. Kansas City won by 18. And Buffalo, New England, Buffalo won by 12. I say that to say this, Brew. We only remember the times the underdog wins because it's so rare. And so, no, the Cowboys are not going to squander the 2 seed by losing to Sam Howell.
But you went back to that exact scenario. I cited the game with Jacksonville and Indianapolis, which was another 14-point favorite that lost.
No, but Coach, the difference there is that Indy team was not good. That Indy team was 9-8. That is,
they were good enough for Vegas to say you're 14-point favorites.
I understand that, and that was probably an indictment on Jacksonville at the time, post Urban Meyer. I get that, but I'm talking about an actual good team, a team fighting for the 1 or the 2 seed. The last time it happened was the Patriots.
That they're not schizophrenic. You don't win 12 games or 11 games by being schizophrenic. But a team that the coach has issues with clock management, a team that when big pressure-filled games are being played, they seem to end strangely.
A team that hasn't been good on the road. The quarterback hasn't been good on the road. They've gotten blown out on the road.
Except against bad teams on the road, they've
like
blown
Arizona.
Here,
you got one?
I got a Dak graphic on the road.
Oh, there we go. That's a good one.
He's a different quarterback. Now, he's playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the league, obviously, at home. But on the road, he struggles.
They played last year, January 8th, 2023. Here was the quote from Micah Parsons before the game. Our focus should be on beating Washington. If we don't finish what we've got to do this week, what does it matter what the Eagles do? I think everyone's focus should be on Washington. 26-6 Commanders.
Yes, because that game, the Cowboys.
Wow, that's crazy.
Except for the fact that last year's Commanders were a 500 team. Last year's
Not when they played. They were below 500. Then they beat.
Okay, they were 7
the Cowboys,
8
and they're good news. We're 500.
So they were 7, 8, and 1 as opposed to getting the 2 pick. The Cowboys going into that game were damn near locked into the 5 seed, pardon me, and were permanently locked when at halftime of both their games the Giants were down 16-0 to the Eagles. So the idea that they're the same scenario, they are not. So here's my question for the group before we move on. Since this is a losable, dangerous game, the Cowboys covering and winning will make everyone at this table more confident in them.
Yes.
Yes. Brew.
Not really.
Okay, Coach.
Yeah, I'd be more confident.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's
they
not
win by 15. Yeah.
But 14 is what it would be.
Sure. Are they in Nick's picks?
What?
Are they in Nick's
I
picks?
guess you're gonna have to wait and find out.
What's the question, Wilds?
The question is, would a blowout win mean anything?
Look, it won't make up for it's been more than 3 weeks, but these 3 weeks were supposed to be the renaissance. This was supposed to be when you got it together and rolled into the playoffs, beating 3 tomato cans. Instead, they lost one of the games. They barely won the other. And they probably lost the 2 seed. We'll see. So it won't make up for that unless Dallas loses. But I got to be honest. If they go out there and blow the doors off of the Giants, I'm not talking about 2 touchdowns. I'm talking about 40-14, 37 to 15 or something like that. 9. All right, whatever. That I think means something.
What about 40-0?
Yeah,
like what Dallas did when they went to the Giants.
I mean, look, Dallas. We know what Dallas is about, right? And then 2 weeks later, they lost to Arizona.
Giants.
Yeah, 2 weeks later, lost to Arizona. But my point is this: the Eagles, this is what they've been searching for. This has been like the holy grail all year. When they were even 10-1, it was still, we're not blowing anybody out. We're not playing well.
That's right.
If at the end, I don't care who it is. It could be us. Well, all right, if they blew us out, this is what they've been searching for. And so if they blow the Giants out, then I think everything else, Coach, even if they're the 5th seed, I think they're going to be feeling like, all right, we're here. It's been a rough ride. It was ugly, and we had some fights and arguments in the locker room, but we have finally started playing good football just at the right time, and we believe we go on the road, we can beat anybody. So I think it would mean something.
And I'm with you, Chris. I'm not usually big on style points in terms of how you win, just as long as you win. I think this is an example of they need to put it together in all 3 phases. They need to feel good offensively. They need to feel a lot better defensively, especially against the run, and they'll be challenged in the running game this week and on special teams. And if they can do that and go into the playoffs with a little bit of momentum, and it's not just about the momentum, it's about taking some of the pressure off, like you said, in the locker room, where there's a little bit of infighting. Everybody can exhale going into the playoffs and realize, hey, we got 2 really good receivers. Yep. We have a really good back. We've got a really good quarterback. We've got one of the best offensive lines, if not the best offensive line in the NFL, and we've got a really good defensive line. And get back to where they were, you got a shot.
I got bad news, though.
Oh, geez. What is it?
No, I think, and Sirianni is kind of, played coy about this. But if you're Philly and your quarterback's dealing with injuries and you have other guys dealing with injuries, you have older offensive linemen, this game is played at the same time as the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. If at halftime the Cowboys are up 17-0 on Washington, you're just pulling your guys. they're not going to play them the whole game. They're going, at some point.
Even if you are blowing them out at halftime.
Okay, maybe, sure.
what I mean?
I don't think that's
That might
likely,
be
but
good.
yes,
what if
you
it's
could feel
close?
better. No, I think that
You can't lose.
the moment it's clear that I think it's fine if you lose if it's your backups. If it's clear that Dallas is blowing out Washington, you need to get your guys out of there. Your quarterback's hurt.
But what Wild said, if let's say the Giants-Eagles game is close at halftime, Dallas is blowing out
Then
Washington.
you pull your guys.
No, because you don't want to lose the game.
All right, I bet you he
even
does.
with the backups.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.